CPR Classical is Colorado's source for the finest classical music performances from the last 1,000 years. I mean, we play everything from Anton Orensky to Jan Dismas Zelenka and everything in between. Bach, Mozart, Ravel, Claude Debussy, Beethoven. I could go on and on. Besides our 24/7 classical music service and our recordings in our performance studio, we do various live broadcasts from all over the state. We hear from the Colorado Symphony, from Opera Colorado, the Central City Opera, the Colorado Music Festival, the Aspen Music Festival, the Bravo Vale Valley Music Festival, and others.
Open Air really is about discovering new music from across the globe and giving people access to that music, but also spotlighting the bands and the musicians from our Colorado music scene. Open Air listeners can tune in at any time, and it's very possible that they'll hear a Colorado band. So, in the end, we're trying to highlight Colorado music. We're trying to play a very active role in this scene and just turn some new eyes and ears onto what's going on in the Centennial State.
One of the first and most important questions we get is, how do you pick the music that you're going to play on Open Air and CPR Classical? It's one of the most important questions, and it's really the linchpin of our operation.
Most classical music comes into the station on CD, and we receive music obviously from large international record companies, also small record companies and local artists. We'll add a CD to the library if it's a noteworthy performance. Often we'll put a CD in the player, be listening, and think we have got to get this on the air.
Just every day I get tons of submissions that are physical and that are digital. So I have these two different sections of music submission to keep track of. I have all the CDs and vinyl on my desk, and then I have these little intangible song files that I have to go through. So in a month, it's hundreds and hundreds. We think, who's going to listen to this? Who's going to decide to sit down and not turn the station when they hear this? Is this a Colorado Public Radio listener? And from there, it's basically the playlist process. How would I fit this into a day of programming?
Show preparation for Open Air is a lifestyle. I try to arrive about 1 to 2 hours before my shift begins. It gives me a chance to look at all my favorite musical resources online. Is there a band that just announced a new album, a concert announcement, or maybe if we lost somebody, if a band broke up?
This is music that demands respect. It's lasted for hundreds of years, and it's great art. So that means storytelling early in the morning, but keeping in mind people are busy. So I want to tell these stories as briefly and powerfully as I can, and that's what I'd spend a lot of time preparing on.
On any given week, we could have up to 5 performers or groups or more in the performance studio, whether they're national acts who are here to play at the Bluebird or at Becher Concert Hall, or local acts who are just starting out.
My job is to be invisible. It's to transmit the voices from whether it's interviews or the music out to the air and make them sound as good as possible. Videos become a very huge part of spreading music to the listeners. So we recognized that, and we started videotaping all of the performances in our performance studio. They get edited down with software that we have in-house and then uploaded to our YouTube channel. And bands get to link to the videos. People from all over the world get to see what we have going on here in our performance studio. This really isn't a job to people around here. It's more of a mission. It's inspiring, and it inspires me to be the best I can be.